Great day. I'm Marshawn Crystal, and this is WAJ Jackson News, and here are today's top stories. The city of Jackson continues to move forward with work using 1% tax dollars. Paving has been completed on a number of streets, including Maddox Road, Bird Street, and Lindbergh Drive. More than 20 streets will be paved in the coming months as the city continues its pothole blitz. Please report all potholes by calling 601-960-1111. New life has been breathed into neighborhoods near the Jackson Medical Mall with the completion of 44 single-family townhomes. Mayor Tony T. Yarber says the East Village Estates is an investment in the city and the community. Each home is 1,520 square feet and contains 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. Residents can lease the townhomes and eventually purchase them. The project was developed by the Jackson Medical Mall Foundation, Mid-America Development Foundation. It was implemented by Charter Consultant Limited of Oxford, Mississippi. Residents are encouraged to apply for the city's Neighbors First program. It allows residents to purchase city-owned abandoned property on their street at a minimal cost. This effort is designed to benefit both the community and the public. Abandoned houses that are purchased are placed back on the tax rolls. The program also gives citizens the tool they need to improve neighborhoods. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
Hey, great day, Jackson, Mississippi. I know that many of you have been asking and wondering when in the world are things going to start happening with these streets. Well, we're excited to announce an interim project called the Pothole Blitz that we put in place to make sure that many of the issues that you've been facing riding around Jackson streets, that we're putting an interim patch on them until we can get a lot of other things moving. We've got 17 streets that we've already outlined, 10 streets that we're going to be using some federal funds for. So we're talking about an upwards of about 30 streets, but in the meantime, we want to attend to a lot of the things that we've all been struggling with, and that's these potholes. So behind us, you see a pothole patching machine. You see men who are out as a part of the crews that we started beefing up to go by ward in order to see that many of these issues are being dealt with. So don't get frustrated. Give us as much of your patience as you possibly can, and we're going to see that this project, which is going to take us anywhere from 15 to 20 years, is dealt with. But we're doing it, it's started, and we're excited about it.
Welcome back to WAJ News. Thermale Hall is one of the city's greatest jewels. Not only are ticket sales soaring, the hall is showcasing Broadway shows. Here to tell us more about it is Michael Raff, Deputy Director of Human and Cultural Services. Welcome, Mr. Raff.
Nice to be here.
Glad to have you here, and I know you have some exciting things to share with our viewers, and we want to hear all about it. I'm particularly interested in this Broadway show we have coming to the city, and so tell us a little bit about it.
We just recently completed last week our Broadway season for 2015-16. In November, we'll start with a new series. We just found out what that series is going to consist of this week, and we're really excited. This last year, Thalyamara's sales revenue has doubled last year's, and last year's doubled any previous years. So we're just excited about the new enthusiasm and new support that the city of Jackson and the greater Jackson area is giving Thalyamara Hall. People are coming downtown, they're using the restaurants, they're staying in the hotels, and it's just fun to see that happening downtown Jackson. One thing I want to say about Thalyamara, yes, we do Broadway, but also we do opera, we do the symphony, we do the ballet, we do country, we do gospel, we do weightlifting, we do bodybuilding, we do graduations. Our goal is not to have a week go by that theater is dark.
That's awesome. And so every genre of music, entertainment that one can imagine comes through Thalyamara Hall. And I guess suffice to say that has certainly put Jackson, Mississippi on the map, not only nationally, but internationally. That's correct.
Yes, internationally, we're of course going to have the IBC, the International Ballet Competition, which we have every 4 years, and that'll be 2018. We're already preparing for that. That's 2 weeks of I'm going to stay on before I retire till at least this next IBC. Sure. It is 2 weeks of the most thrilling, inspiring. You've got people from all over the world coming to Jackson. Last competition, University of Southern Mississippi School of Business did a study about what extra revenue it brought in, and they said it brought in over $12 million in 2 weeks into our city.
That's
So
awesome.
it's not only you seeing great dancers from all over the world, but you're seeing a revenue grow.
Growing. I know it's music to all of our ears, certainly Mayor Yarber's ears and the citizens of Jackson and the state, quite frankly. And mentioning that, Mr. Raff, it's I think important to the viewers to know that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jackson is but one of 4 locations in the world that the IBC comes to. Isn't that correct?
That is true. The only location in the country, and there's only 3 other competitions throughout the world.
Through the world, and that puts Jackson in a unique and what they say, they're only a kid on the block, quite frankly, when it comes to this event.
And of course, that's just another reason to give praise and honor to the original Thalia Mara. She brought all this here.
Sure.
And the building is named after her in honor of all that hard work. Great accomplishments.
And that's good to hear too. And certainly your leadership, Ms. Raff, you've been there how long now? How long you been with the Human and Cultural Services?
15 years.
15
I
years.
came here in 2001.
That's it. That's it. I thought so, Brother Raff, because you and I kind of came to the city at the same time. I remember that, and I just appreciate your leadership over there, and certainly you've taken a personal interest and certainly taking this as your own, the programs and the arts connection that we have through Human and Cultural Services, and with the Greater Jackson Arts Council and all the other partners that we have within the community. It certainly is evident that Jackson appreciates the art. And I want to talk about that a bit because there are some other things that are going on in the arts community. Maybe you can share with us some other impactful things that's going on in the arts community.
Well, the Greater Jackson Arts Council they're 35 years old. We celebrated that today at luncheon. They have done a tremendous job of bringing so many different diverse activities to the city of Jackson. And we partner with them. They are the artistic managers of the Arts Center. The Arts Center is open to all the public. It's an opportunity for our local artists to have a venue to show their work, and we display their work throughout the year, maybe six weeks at a time, but you can always see the local artists at the Arts Center. It's also being used for a number of functions, and you can rent it out for a party. You can come and enjoy some of the many different features that it has.
And I know that we have a series of concerts and talent shows and comedy reviews that come through there. I mean, are we expecting more of that throughout the year?
We expect, as I say, we don't want a week go by that we don't have something.
Sure.
And we expect that to continue to grow because of the renovation, the restoration of the building. It's just a beautiful place to be in. We're continuing to try to improve the sound and the lighting. We're putting a new lighting system in 2 weeks, which will be a new dimmer system for the whole building. It'll be a state-of-the-art lighting procedures.
And one of the things I want to say too, Brother Raff, when it comes to the Aramel Hall, it has been showcased on the big screen several times too, correct me if I'm wrong. I know we did it when, back in the day, as they say, doing the movie that, what was it called? It was the one that dealt with Bayondell Beckwith. What was the name of that movie?
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Dealing with certainly Medgar Evers and that movie with Whoopi Goldberg, and so my mind escaped. And I know that was one, but then just recently, Get On Up.
We sure did. We had the story of James Brown. They had some scenes in Thalia Mara Hall. They had over 1,000 people in the audience, and it was really a wonderful occasion. We had delayed doing our restoration work 2 weeks in order for them to come in January, but we caught up with. Our goal was to be done with the restoration in time for the IBC, of course. but that all worked out very well. We're hoping to have more movies come here.
Well, I'm sure we will, and certainly that is a hallmark and a jewel, as we said, of the greater Jackson community, and certainly we're glad to see that it has been completely restored and refurbished. It does look fantastic, and I encourage all the viewers to, if you get an opportunity to catch a show, come out to Theramar Hall. Before we go, we want to go back to this, pivot back to this Broadway in Jackson, and just for the viewing audience again, tell us a bit how that is coming online. Is there a first month? You say it will be in November when it first opens?
Yes, we just completed this season, Mamma Mia, last week, which was sold out 3 weeks in advance.
Wow.
It was a very wonderful way to end the season. But now we're already looking towards next season. We just got notice of what from the company, what shows are available, and what shows we're going to have here in Jackson for 2016 and 2017. We're going to start out with in November with some Christmas programs. We're going to have it's the
Is it a Christmas
Christmas
Wonderland?
show. It's Broadway Christmas Wonderland.
Wonderland,
That's what I couldn't come up. And then we're going to have 42nd Street. We're going to have The Illusionist. We're going to have Rent, Once, and Cinderella. That's all part of our Jackson series.
Wonderful.
We also have, that's Broadway in Jackson. We also have Jackson Live series, where we're going to have Rudolph, Stomp, Rain, and Menopause. So again, we're looking for a very busy season, and we have what we're offering here with these features is something for the whole family, something for older folks, something for younger folks, Christmas themes, seasonal themes, but we're trying to touch the whole gamut.
Well, I think you have, Mr. Raff, and I thank you again for coming in and sharing this wonderful news with us. We're looking forward to the Broadway review that's coming back to Jackson. We have, as you said, another season of it, and we're just excited all the great things that's going on at Theramar Hall, and we certainly encourage you to keep up the good work and certainly managing that entire operation and all of the things that you're doing to enhance the arts community and entertainment community within the city of Jackson. We're going to be bringing you back for sure to talk more about some of the things that's going on at Theramar Hall, but we certainly appreciate you being the guest in the studio today and talking about this wonderful, wonderful opportunity.
Well, thank you for having me and giving me an opportunity to share what's going on.
And right before we let you go, can they find more about this on our website as well?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
They can also go to jacksonbroadway.com.
Who is the contact person in your office if they want to learn more about it?
They should contact Andy Burns or myself.
Okay. And just give them a number, 601?
Yeah, 601-960-1537.
Well, we'll certainly put that on the screen as well. And like I said, I know there's a lot of people who are interested in the shows that's coming to Theramar Hall. And again, thank you for sharing with us today. And we'll have you back in the studio real soon.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
Pardon our progress as the City of Jackson conducts the Operation Orange Cone initiative. The initiative is part of the city's 1% sales tax program and focuses on immediate street issues. As part of Operation Orange Cone, utility cuts have been repaired across the city. A pothole blitz is currently underway, and over the next few months, more than 20 streets will be paved. The work is conducted as Mayor Tony T. Yarborough and city officials move forward with the Infrastructure Master Plan. The IMP is a multi-year blueprint to overhaul Jackson's antiquated infrastructure system. It involves work on bridges, drainage, water mains, and streets.
Welcome back to WAJ News. The Jackson Police Department recently held a memorial service to honor fallen police officers. Mayor Tony T. Yarborough and Police Chief Lee Vance were among those speaking at the event. The mayor commented about the sacrifice officers make daily and said all citizens should be appreciative of law enforcement.
We got to treat each other right. We are obligated to love each other, to see each other through tough times, to know that the only way that things get better is when we decide that we'll love each other until they get better. And so to the families, thank you for loving us. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to love you. And most of all, thank you for the opportunity of sharing your families, your loved ones with us. On behalf of more than 174,000 citizens in Jackson, Mississippi, please accept our heartfelt thank you. God bless you.
New businesses are operating in Jackson. The city recently held ribbon cuttings for Lynn Myers Designs and Bliss Bride Bridal Concierge Service. That's located on the 3rd floor of Banner Hall, Suite 302. A ribbon cutting also was held for the Goodwill Select Store located at Jacksonian Plaza at 4950 I-55 North Frontage Road. The Jackson Police Department recently celebrated a milestone in the Community Improvement Division. The city has torn down 203 abandoned houses. Police Chief Lee Vance says ridding neighborhoods of abandoned structures helps to improve safety in the area. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
Hi, I'm Mayor Tony Yarber.
And I'm Jackson Police Chief Lee Vance.
Here in the city of Jackson, we recognize that you're our #1 crime-fighting resource. So we're providing you with a tool to help us respond to criminal activity in a timely manner.
Tip 411 allows residents to text or submit crime tips. Your name is not important, your information is. Officers will receive your messages and react in real time.
My #1 priority is your safety. This tool helps us work together to make Jackson a safer place.
Welcome back to WAJ News. We now have in the studio today Mr. Eric Jefferson, Director of Planning and Development. He's here to talk about a new community initiative called Play Streets Jackson. Mr. Jefferson, welcome, and thank you for being in the studio today. We're excited about hearing about this wonderful program. I understand it comes from on the Most High there, quite frankly. So tell us a little bit about that, about the program.
All right, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, about 4 years ago, First Lady Michelle Obama introduced an initiative whereby cities across the country could introduce what they call play streets into their community. What that is it allows neighborhoods to shut down a portion of their neighborhood, the streets in their neighborhoods, and close them to traffic, but then open them up for kids to play. The reason they did this is because, you know, a third of our children are obese because they're not getting the recommended hours worth of activity on a daily basis outside like we did when we were kids. So this is all an effort to try to encourage children particularly to get outside and play and create a safe environment where they don't have to worry about being hit by cars going up and down their streets.
That's awesome, and I know what you're saying is true. You're right. In our generation, nobody had to prompt us to go outside and play. We had probably 3 channels on the television, if we were lucky, and 1 television. And so we were always active out in the backyard or down the street playing with our friends. But today, with technology, that's taken a lot of that activity away. So I know this program is welcomed in every community, and certainly we appreciate First Lady Michelle Obama and certainly President Obama for this initiative and encouraging that. I know it's been one of their hallmarks of their administration is trying to make sure that we have a more active America. So it's a good thing that we're tackling that. And the city of Jackson has taken this mantle and run with it. And so when does this officially kick off?
Okay, so this month is National Bike Month, and that's the reason I have like the little bicycle emblem here.
I want one of those too.
Yeah, I have one written for you. So we're going to start it this month, and it's going to be a pilot program throughout the summer. Neighborhoods, again, can apply through the planning department for this Complete Streets or Play Streets program, and we'll process the applications and get them a response hopefully within a week after we reviewed it and make sure that they meet all the criteria. The basic criteria for the Play Streets program in Jackson will be you have to get a letter put out to all the neighbors on the street you want to close down. You have to designate it on the sheet, on the application, where you want to close it from, what street to what street. You can't include an intersection, it has to be between intersections. And you have to have buy-in from all the neighbors and the neighborhood associations for that area. Once we see evidence that you've gotten that information, then we'll process it, review it, review what you plan to do, including if you plan to have any kind of cookouts or what kind of activities you have planned for the children, and you can get an approval hopefully within a week or 10 days of your application being submitted.
That's awesome. So if I'm hearing you correctly, it's just more like a block party. Essentially, you're shutting down a block and encouraging the neighborhood youth to get out and get active. So that's I guess right. You go and get you a jumping balloon, one of those activities we see at the parks all the time, and just let them have fun. So that's a beautiful thing. And
there's certain agencies like the Department of Health that offer bike rodeos. You can contact them, or neighbors can contact them and get them to bring equipment out there, and they can help sponsor like a bike rodeo or something on that block for that day. And we won't only do it during daylight hours, so it's going to be restricted to say 8 in the morning to 7 at night.
Gotcha. That's good. And so the requirements seem to be certainly manageable and doable. And in terms of a contact person, who would that be in order to get involved in this program? I sign up for it.
All right. Well, in our office, there's a young lady named Ramina Aguili. She is heading up the program, and she can be contacted at 601-960-1993, and she can tell you how they're going to process the applications, where to bring them down to, and like I said, she'll be the one to let you know when you got an approval.
Well, as you know, we promote the city's website often. Obviously, that's a tool to get information out to the community. Will this be available on the website?
Yes, it will be.
Wonderful, wonderful. And this comes directly out of your department in Planning and Economic Development?
It does.
Good. And so, again, this is, if I'm heard you correctly, this is a citywide program, so everybody within the city will be eligible. Is that correct?
That's right.
Good. And you say this program has been around how long now?
For about 4 years.
About 4 years. And this would be the City of Jackson's first year to participate.
Yes. Now, we've partnered with Bike Walk Mississippi, and they've actually done this in some other cities in the state. So this will be the first time Jackson will be participating with them on that.
Is there any program that you can think of in the City of Jackson that's even remotely like this one that you can think of?
Not to my knowledge, but the Special Events Committee, you can sponsor events through them, but there's nothing quite like this one that I'm aware of.
And so you touched upon something earlier too. You talked about Bike Week. Tell us a bit about that and what the concept there is and what the city is doing with Bike Week.
Sure. So May is National Bike Month, and the idea behind that is we're creating an awareness throughout the city and throughout the country really about bicycle safety and the need for folks to recognize that pedestrians and bicyclists in particular have rights to be on the road, sharing the road. If there's opportunities for us as a city to commit ourselves to making our city more bicycle friendly, we want to look at, in this month in particular, activities that emphasize or kind of highlight things that we're doing. On Friday, for instance, we have a bike to lunch event if it doesn't rain, and we also have a couple of activities throughout the month that we're focusing on promoting bicycle-friendly initiatives that neighborhoods are doing as well.
I know at one point, Mr. Jefferson, there was talk about Jackson getting a bike trail. Did that ever happen? Do you know? Do we have a bike trail in the city of Jackson?
We are working on what's called the Museum to Market Trail. It's been an ongoing effort for the last several years, and we think we're getting close to getting that completed. There's been some construction that needed to happen through Public Works, a water line construction that needed to happen. So once that's completed, we can proceed with the construction of the trail, and we hope to have it open by first of next year.
That's awesome. I did hear that, and I certainly would love to be active in biking. Quite frankly, that is a nice way for old people like myself to stay in shape, quite frankly. You can't run and jump and do all that stuff we used to do when we were young. So I would certainly love to see when that comes online. And I know the city is very much concentrating on making the city of Jackson, the capital city, more pedestrian friendly. So that's an awesome program that you've introduced to us today, and we're looking forward to that. And also the Play Streets program. And again, for the viewing audience, talk just real quickly again about the requirements and how they apply for it.
Okay. Play Streets program is, again, a program that allows neighborhoods to shut down a portion of their streets and their communities, close them off to traffic, and allow them to be open for kids to play safely. All they have to do is fill out an application. They can get it online through our website, or they can contact Ramina Aguili in the Department of Planning and Development at 601-960-1993. And once they get the application filled out, which includes a copy of letters that they've sent to neighbors in the community along the block they plan to close, that they all agree to this, and that the neighborhood association agrees to it and they support it. When we see that evidence, then we'll process the application, and it most likely will be approved, and you'll have opportunity to close your street off, and we'll work with you to do that.
Well, thank you again for introducing this wonderful program to us, Mr. Jefferson, and the work that you do in planning development under your leadership. Keep up the great work. And again, for more information on Play Streets Jackson, you can go to the city's website, www.jacksonms.gov.
Right.
Thank you so much again, B. We'll have you back and kind of give us an update on other things that are going on in the planning department.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll be right back with WAJ News.
Residents of the City of Jackson can report concerns to the Constituent Services Action Line by dialing 311. Those who dial 311 will speak with a representative who will complete the report and issue a tracking number that allows residents to monitor the progress of the report. When using your mobile device and dialing 311 does not work, the alternative is to dial 601-960-1111. And as always, you can visit the city's website by logging on to www.jacksonms.gov to make a report and track the progress of the report.
Welcome back to WAJ News. Now let's turn our attention to Dr. Timothy Quinn with Healthy Jackson.
Thanks, Marshawn. Today we're going to talk about heat injuries. It's getting close to summertime and it's going to be hot. We're in Mississippi. So we want to just give you some information so you can be safe, you and your family. Number one, you want to stay hydrated. I used to be an old football player on the football field in high school, and we used to have to drink water, drink water, drink water. That's the number one reason why people get heat injuries is they don't hydrate properly. It's a good idea to drink a bottle of water at least every hour if you're going to be outdoors for prolonged periods of time. The second thing is listen to your body. You know, if you start feeling tired, fatigued, just kind of out of it, that's a sign that you could be developing some heat injuries. It's a good idea to remove yourself, you know, from the outdoors if possible. Go into an air-conditioned home, or if you're somewhere where there is no home, go underneath a shade tree and drink a lot of water. You want to try to, you know, don't wear too many clothes when it's very hot. You want to try to wear loose clothes and, you know, get a lot of skin exposure so that your body can go through the normal cooling down process. Now, here's the thing to look for. There's something called heat exhaustion, and when you have heat exhaustion, you have those, you know, those symptoms of just tired, fatigue, just feeling out of it. Remove yourself from the heat and hydrate. And if you don't start feeling better in about 10 or 15 minutes, it's a good idea to go ahead and seek medical care. But if someone is developing a heat stroke, that person would pretty much have no sweating because the nervous system has just shut down. This person became overheated. So the body's natural coping mechanism of sweating to cool you down no longer works. This person would have dry skin. And in many cases, this person would be confused. And in some cases, they wouldn't even be awake. And in that case, if you find someone like that, it's a good idea to call 911 immediately and try to remove that person from the heated environment to a very cool place, such as a tub of ice while you wait for the ambulance to get there. But don't delay, because heat injuries can be deadly, especially in a case where somebody develops heat stroke. And as I said, the main thing to look for is just dry skin. That person is no longer sweating. It's just dry, hot skin. Usually that person is confused. They could be vomiting, or they could be unconscious. So let's all be careful out there. Enjoy this beautiful Mississippi, but at the same time, be aware that heat exhaustion is something that really needs to be paid attention to. On behalf of the City of Jackson, we appreciate you all allowing us to bring this information into your home.
Thanks, Dr. Quinn. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of WAJ We Are Jackson News. From everyone here, thank you for watching WAJ News. I'm Marshawn Chrysler. Good day, Jackson.